Alright, so how y'all doing, boys? Hope you're doing well. Now in today's video, going to be doing something a little different. I know I have done bird videos on the channel before, and I've actually done a full guide and kind of like team building video on the channel before. Link to that will probably be in the description if you guys need any helps with the actual Valga raid. But I figured in today's video, it's something I don't do often, we'll actually go ahead and try one of the new festivals out in the bird raid. I mean, DIANE does an absolutely amazing job of being the tank. She is kind of just like an alternate version of the red Matrona, which if you guys are frequent viewers of the channel, you know this is my favorite bird team. This DIANE will work really well. The only thing she'd have, or that I'd say she doesn't have, that the Matrona does have, is the level 1 Matrona card has the 3 turns, which is huge thing. I mean, I feel like this DIANE will probably end up tanking just a little bit better than the Matrona. I mean, expected that she's a festival, but I mean, most of you guys should have her if you at least summoned on the DIANE banner. I mean, most of the reasons why I would say you guys would summon for the DIANE is if you didn't have the red Matrona being like a Halloween exclusive unit, you know, they can be a little bit hard to get, but on this free banner here, I mean, yeah, she's kind of just right there. So anyone who really hasn't been fortunate enough to get Halloween Matrona now just has free access to a 1/6, which she isn't even really a unit you need to have dupes in anyway. So I figured why not? Let's go ahead, we'll run the gauntlet with this DIANE here. Quickly just showing the gear for everyone here. I mean, pretty stock standard builds for everyone. Nothing too crazy, but let's get through it and let's see if I can go the whole way without dying, because I mean, just knowing my luck, it'll end up happening just to embarrass myself on like an uncut recording. But I mean, let's see at first stage, is there much to talk about on Grand Cross at the moment? I mean, there's a little bit. The JP version as of this week will have their kind of like Holy War event happening where you kind of like the whole clan faction war, which I'm honestly super excited to see start. I honestly, when the global side comes, I'm definitely going to be choosing the 10 Commandments side. I don't know, maybe if things could change, I could still go ahead and choose the Stigma side for the Archangels, but I don't know, Team Demons all the way. We'll have to see how it works. I really hope it is like something big, because I've been dying for some new PvE content, and like I say that in a way, like not like the game has bad PvE content, like the new demon boss Baraja is one of the best demons, or I would say the best demon we've had in that kind of demon format. You know, we have these big celebrations, they kind of give this side demon, you can do so many attempts per day, and you know, you get rewards, you can purchase stuff from the shop, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, they did an absolutely amazing job on him, and I don't know, I think I'm more leaning towards like the final boss sides of things. I feel like final boss isn't what it used to be. That's not saying it's anything bad, but I definitely feel like they could do a better version, or at least touch up on a couple things. They've touched up on Training Cave, which I'm definitely liking the new addition to Training Cave, that's for sure. And what is the, I had another form of PvE content in my head. I mean, the Demonic Beast I feel like is the greatest, like by far the greatest content we've had, at least when it comes to PvE for Grand Cross. But by far, I enjoy the difficulty. Sometimes I don't like, just because I am a very like time-framed person, having to go ahead and do the deer every single week. Like that's just because the difficulty for me is a little bit like, they haven't given us any units like the Magelda that just completely make the event just a laughing stock. But hey, I mean, who knows, one day we will get that Ragnarok update where we get a character that can cycle through the phase 2 and 4 passives regardless of their type, which is what I'm really waiting for. Also, a light type Mael would be really nice, hopefully next festival, huh? I can't wait for that to come out. Obviously going to be like a defensive type unit, but the other form of PvE content I was going to talk about is the Tower of Trials. That's it. I do really like what they've done with Tower of Trials, the new kind of version of it. I do definitely like the old version of Tower of Trials. Maybe even a little bit more. I don't know. I really like that kind of like, oh, huge event dropped in. Was honestly some of my favorite videos making. Kind of like what we're doing here, just this chilled out, you know, go through all the floors, just talk about stuff that's happening in the game at the time. Our card draw is actually really good at the moment. I'm pretty much set up entirely for phase 4, so we should be alright. We can kind of just start throwing out our good cards here. Probably should have used the DIANE single target a little before melee, but at this point, like, once you've got these other kind of units supporting, like, DIANE probably hasn't looked like she's been doing a whole lot, but as long as she's taunting for the team, like, that's all she really needs to do. And with how much damage she's actually going to be taking in this bird, I feel like she might be able to get quite a good amount of use out of her actual passive. Look at that there, like, year 1, like the release of Grand Cross, never would I've ever thought I'd be seeing content that looks like this, like units where you just have a million buffs on yourself, and like doing stuff like this for Holy Relics, like a second passive. Whoever thought that would happen? But here we go, onto this 4th and final phase. The only reason I actually like the Cusack a little bit more than Escanor is because he has this power strike effect and the ult gauge. the fact that this is a PvE boss that actually allows you to use alt control, I found that very funny. Like, it's, I don't know, so much content, should I say, just like nullifies the kind of alt control, but hey, I'm all for it. Miguel also having Power Strike is a huge hand, and that should, I believe, get him low enough to where it's going to be just shy, isn't it? And oh my god, look at the sound effect just completely covered the whole screen there. I mean, with him being this low, we should just be able to kill with the melee single target cards. Melee is just an absolute beast. I knew from the moment that we got the Festival King in the game that we were going to kind of just, the bird was going to start turning into this, like, this just huge increase in ease in the content, and I'm 100% all for it. I actually have a friend who started, like, you know, getting back into the game as of recent, and I've just been telling him, dude, put all of your gems into this DIANE banner, because the second you get that king, your life is going to be so much easier. And look at that, DIANE doing damage to the bird even with the resistance, and Melly didn't on his single target. Like, yeah, no, we're going to be seeing some good damage from DIANE here on this one, and here we go. Onto the, I never really expected the first phase, or at least this first one, to be of any difficulty, and sorry about that. I know I said this video would be uncut, but I did get interrupted right as we started this second attempt, so quickly went ahead and rerun that one. But there is one thing, the JP version, although we haven't actually gone ahead and gotten their update with Elaine, I do believe if we actually check the JP update, yeah, they've gotten their new update. I'm gonna see if I can actually bring it up now, just so I can have a look. It is meant to be an actual dead week for JP, but like, from memory, they've gotten the new Hawk Pass costume for King and a couple other things. Oh gosh, there's so much stuff happening in their forums at the moment. Unlike Global, wow, isn't that to be expected? Yeah, no, let's see here. Actually, I do feel like DIANE could die here. She's just not recovering as much as the Matrona would be in these earlier phases, so that could potentially be a downfall of DIANE using DIANE. I mean, as long as you have Miguelda alongside her, I feel like you should be able to heal enough per turn to the point where you'll be fine. Same as Melee, you know, you let the team build up a little bit and then you're just good to go. You get to those, and that's why using this kind of team, or like having Meliodas in the third floor, is so insanely powerful. Is that the buff removal? No, it's not. Okay, sweet. But yeah, no, let's go for this here, why not? Yeah, having Meliodas in the third floor is so powerful because the first phase lasts so long that you can completely max out the second part of his passive in that first floor. So by the time you get to the second phase, the third phase, and the final phase, you know, you're tanking so insanely well that it doesn't really matter. Like, it's just the point where, like, as long as you're like saving your cards and just like playing the phases right, you should be fine. Look at this, DIANE's gotten a couple more grey buffs. She's going to be tanking really well here. We should be able to move on from this phase pretty quickly as well. It's just, yeah, being able to do it in those 2 turns is the main thing here, which, once again, Meliodas is just an absolute DPS powerhouse. I don't know how much longer it's going to be until we get a better unit, and I'd honestly be fine with having him be the best unit for quite some time. Like, he is just such a fun unit, and like, I definitely feel like Grand Cross is in one of the best states it's been in for a long time. DIANE's taunt finishes in his turn. Granted, we did get another one, and other than that, we can actually finish this phase off, so we will be fine. Hopefully we can take a little bit more damage. I mean, Miguelda's Holy Relic as well. Not only did Miguelda, when she actually initially released, a whole lot of people were like, oh yeah, look, she's definitely the best team for this kind of stuff, like, you know, saying she was the best, and like, I didn't really see it at the time, but I mean, since she's gotten her Holy Relic, the buff removal, or should I say the debuff removal, sorry, everything else, like the healing factor, the extra stats increase, like the stat increase when you go to max HP just for using the healing card as well, like there's just so much she does, and it's just crazy. Like, I could not imagine running this event without her. 4-3 is the card deletion from memory, so we'll go this here. I might actually go ahead and use the heal card first, just get that out of the way. Yeah, we've got plenty of ultimates for this final phase, so we should be fine. We might actually be able to use a couple of these to kind of just skip out on a bit of time wasted in this third phase, because granted, it's not going to be too difficult, that's for sure. Actually, no, hold on. I've got my passives completely mixed up. Okay, yes, that is exactly right. We only want to do a little bit of damage in this phase so that we don't like proc his revive or anything. Look at DIANE though. Having more buffs than Meliodas, that is actually crazy. Like, also, why are they yellow? Have they been yellow this whole time, the taunts? Maybe I'm crazy, who knows. Let's see, let's go 1, 2, I feel like we can probably, actually, you know, I'll stick with these two. Just because I'm not too sure how Kusak's Abyss effect will go if we like rely on like killing with that and not having like his revive proc, but we should be able to finish with those two cards there, and we kind of just threw these out as a little bit extra. I probably should have thrown out the DN single card in all honesty. Look at those buffs. That is so absurd. I mean, we're used to seeing Meliodas with that kind of amount, but like DN, not too bad unit if I do say so myself. 1, 2, and I might go ahead and put up the taunt again. Let's see, Kusak. Kusak as well, so many people say that like the 1 is so much better in this kind of content than Kusak is, and don't get me wrong, like when it comes to the actual D raid, 100%, like I don't know, I feel like the 1 is like the main reason, combined with Meliodas, that I can actually finish the D raid. Like their power together. Meliodas isn't really even used a whole bunch because like all for the phases you can only use blue, red, and green cards. So like I'm kind of just cycling his out like the end of phases so I can fill up my hands with cards I can actually use. But man, that second part of his passive is just so broken. The fact that it can affect your whole team, and in game modes like this where you have 4 units in the front, like there's no reason not to use him. Same with King, like the shield affects 4 people, why wouldn't you go ahead and use him? Also, how much damage is Melee gonna hit here? Yeah, that's kind of typical of Melee. And here we go onto the 3rd and final floor. With little to no difficulty, I would say at this point, none of these characters are like super, well, I say they're not super maxed out. Pretty much all of them have got max cosmetics except for Miguel done. Pretty decent UI gear, but you could definitely get by this like whole kind of activity with worse off gear. Like, I mean, I've seen people actually, I believe it was a Twitter post a little while back where someone went ahead and beat stage 3 of the Hasvalga raid, and it was with like 4 mil box CC or something like that. I'd have to search for ages to actually find it, but I was just like amazed that like as long as you're building the right units and like you know what you're doing, stuff like this isn't impossible. I will say beating floor 3 of the Deer at this point in time, it'll definitely take you a little longer than that to actually go ahead and beat it, but like once again you only have to like invest in 4 units, so like as long as you know what you're doing, you should be alright. This first phase is going to take quite a while though. I feel like we probably could get through a couple of these first floors a little faster just due to the fact that we can actually remove the blockade. In theory, like the way they built this first phase, where only 2 and 3 star cards do damage, or like I believe it's like 1 star cards have like a 80% damage reduction, and then having blockade so you can't use level 2 or 3 cards, that one there should go ahead. Oh, he put a stat decrease on me, didn't he? Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. Okay, so we couldn't remove the blockade there. That's my bad. Really didn't want to waste that melee card. And like even in saying that, like when like actually tryharding some of the demonic beast battles, by all means before your turn finishes, you can just close the game, reload it, and then just like retry your turn. That's honestly another reason why I've just been completely saved in the Deer, because in that 4th phase where you're trying your hardest not to proc the revive and a whole bunch of other things are coming into play, you can just keep resetting until like you get an attempt you really like. Let's see. Really want to go you. Actually, I might just go like this one. We'll hold on to the melee card for another turn. Probably get blockaded in this next one and not be able to use it, but that's alright. Let's see the damage on the Kusak card, because this should actually do a little bit of damage in hindsight. Granted, he does also have all the blue defensive buffs on him, so not a crazy amount. And in one of these next couple turns, DIANE should be maxed out as well. Let me think. Phase 2 for the 3. Is that... Yes, no, I think that might be the card deletion, because I said that in the 2nd floor and got that completely wrong. So next one's card deletion, and then the phase 3 is the grey debuffs that we want to kind of like work through the phase as quick as possible. 1, 2, 3, and that should finish this one off here. Miguel having Amplify as well is very helpful. They gave her a really good kit, especially for this activity, and especially since her activity kind of only works in this, like, I could see in like a year's time this still being the best team, or like Miguel still being the best unit for this, just because how they made there. But look at that, Meliodas just completely cleaning off that phase. It's gotten to the point where we don't even have to worry about the passives anymore. Granted, the revive passive can be a little bit annoying. Nowhere near as crucial as it was back in the day. Card deletion, let's see. I'll go ahead and get rid of both of you. Might actually use the buff first. Let's see, I went you, and you. That's how much damage you do. I'm not expecting a crazy amount from this. Melee is 3-6 from memory, maybe 4-6, and DIANE is 2-6, so yeah, not a crazy amount from her. That effect she puts on the screen for those couple seconds, a bit much if I do say so myself. Maybe you don't see it as much in PvP, just because, you know, it's a lot less zoomed out and you're only versing the 3 players. God damn, look at that tanking though, yeah. If you guys maybe didn't want to pick Halloween Matrona and you wanted to, you know, you've summoned for DIANE and gone ahead and got her, or if you just like have DIANE built out and you don't want to build out Matrona, I mean, as you can see here, she is definitely holding up in this kind of content. I'm gonna go for, we'll use this one here, just in case we get another, we can merge that. Yeah, no, DIANE's definitely gonna be able to do the job. There's been quite a few DIANEs out now, so like, most people will have her built out now. Like, we did have the Ragnarok DIANE to, I suppose that'd be one excuse for you to actually build like an attack crit DIANE, but I mean, most people would have a HP defense. Let's see, now this is where we can actually fail the whole run. I'm gonna go for, that'll get us a Cusack ultimate. I just wanted to see how much damage DIANE can do with these cards as well. Don't have to worry about any card deletion or anything here. And in this next turn, I will go ahead and actually use the melee single target. I mean, pretty good there. She's doing more than Cusack, which is really impressive. See that one there? The more ultimate gauge she gets as well, the more she's going to be doing. Okay, we can use that Miguelda card in this next turn as well, which will be really nice. An extra 2 buffs melee, remove the debuff there. Maybe we can finish off. We don't really have to worry about it's. I think it's once you get into like turn 3 and 4 is where it becomes like really crucial. I believe by the 5th turn the attack disables, so you can't do anything whatsoever. 1, 2, 3, and kill, please. I really don't want to have to spend another turn in this phase. What happened to our ultimates, by the way? I swear our ultimates built up. No, maybe not. Oh damn, we are not doing anywhere near enough damage, and he's starting to build up those attack buffs as well. One more turn, that's okay. I don't really feel like looking at anyone die here. Maybe Miguelda or Cusack? Oh, that's the evasion. Ugh, I mean, we have Cusack ultimate, so we can still kill, but yeah, melee ain't gonna be taking any damage. But yeah, no, let me know if you guys enjoy these kind of videos, because, I mean, granted, we very could well fail here, and I could be like half wrapping up the video on just like a failed attempt. But yeah, no, I do definitely like these kind of more chilled out, just like PvE content videos. I would really like to do more stuff other than PvP, but getting patch note videos and stuff out on time, like just due to time zones for me, like I live in Australia. Yeah, that's the revive passive, isn't it? That's the annoying one as well. Yeah, no, I live in Australia, so not only that, but working a 9 to 5 as well, just like none of it really like ties in too well for me, that's for sure. I might actually go Cusack first, and then double melee single target. But I mean, if I didn't work a 9 to 5, like I would be more than happy to like set alarms for like 4 AM just to wake up and like record a patch note video just to get it out like the minute it goes live. But me doing a video like that, like what, like 2 hours even after, like there's not too big a point in actually doing so. Also, look at that, like what kind of units can do that? Like I know King is also tied for first best festival, but come on, really? Yeah, no, I would like to do a whole bunch of other PvE content. I've been working on this goddamn box CC video for so long, just don't want to really miss anything. And like, I know there have been like a whole bunch of people that have gone ahead and done videos on like, you know, box CC and whatnot, but I really just want to be able to like tie everything into the one video, not miss like a single thing, and just like have everything there. Kind of like my grinding to the 9 million box CC, which my box CC is looking a little low. Wow, we didn't even get to the final Meliodas attack. Is looking a little lower at the moment just because I'm fixing up some things in the box, but I mean, hey, there it is, floor 3 of the bird raid, completely finished with DIANE. Fairly easy as well, like little to no difficulty. I was kind of just rambling on and just like spamming cards the whole time. A little bit scary in that third phase of the third floor, but it is what it is. But I mean, that just about does it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please hit the like button and subscribe. Really means a lot to me, and I'll see you guys for some more Grand Cross content.